Hey, what's up traders? On today's video, I'm going to be breaking down to you how I take good entries in the market. I'm currently in a live trade right now as I am recording this video that I will pop up on the screen. If you guys do want to find out how I get good entries like this, make sure that you do watch the video until the end. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up traders? Welcome back to Traders Room South Africa, the best trading channel in the country. If it is your first time on the channel, make sure that you do hit the subscribe button down below. If it is not your first time on the channel, welcome back to the channel. But on today's video, I am going to be teaching you guys how to get entries. You know, you guys saw the intro, you guys saw the thumbnail and the snippet. So man, let's not waste any more time and get into today's video. Before we actually start, I just do want to show you a trade that I have taken just before recording today's video and just show you I am in a gold trade as we speak. Yeah, man, it's going really smooth. It's currently floating $150. We just tapped into $150 and it is a live account by PrimeXBT, which is the broker I am using for this particular trade. And yeah, man, I will tell you more about them later on, but click the link in the description to check them out. It is a really good brokerage that I have discovered recently. And without any further ado, let's hop onto the charts and let me show you how I get really good entries in the market. All right, traders, let's get into it. So the very first sort of entry models that you will find on the market, right? The very first entry model is based on continuations, right? So usually, let's say you are trading in a downtrend and you are expecting the market to continue moving in that downtrend, the very first entry model you will find on the market is based on a continuation, right? And then the second sort of entry model, let's say you are in an uptrend, you know, and then the trend ends up getting to an end. You know what the market will tend to do, it will basically start reversing and start pushing down, you know. So there are two types of entry. The very first one is based on continuations, and the second entry model is a reversal entry model. But on today's video, since I am in a trade based on the very first model that I did explain to you, I'm going to be showing you guys how to take trades based on continuation patterns, basically focusing on markets that are in a trend. All right, traders, so we are on the market right now. I am going to be showing you how I get continuation based entries, you know. So the very first thing that you guys need to do, you guys need to make sure that you identify clear direction in the market, you know. So usually what I find best to get my direction on the market is basically the higher time frame. So if you're not sure about which direction the market is going, you know, it's pretty simple, guys. Go to your daily chart and go to H4 and H1. You know, if you are a day trader, those 4 time frames will basically give you a clear bias in the market. And guys, you can use a trend line for those who are still new towards trading and those who still don't know how to identify a clear trend in the market, you know. So the very first step towards taking a really good entry based on the continuation model is basically identifying your trend on a higher time frame, you know. So what I usually tend to do, I usually what I usually tell people is to basically let's say you are in a uptrend, I basically tell people to mark higher highs and higher lows, right? So for example, if I do use my text box over here, I usually tell people to identify higher highs in the market, and I usually tell them to identify lower lows, right? So I mean higher lows. Let's do this. So usually you can also use your horizontal rate to identify those higher highs in the markets and higher lows. So as you guys can see, we have a higher low, and over here we do have a higher high, right? So how you will know and how you can confirm that you are still in an uptrend in this instance, you guys will notice that the market just keeps respecting these higher lows. You know, the market is basically failing to break this low, for example, which means that we are in an uptrend, you know. So if I do copy this and just create this as a higher high and higher low, you guys will see that the market is basically respecting my higher lows, and these higher highs keep breaking, you know. So that's how you will identify that you are still in an uptrend. You know, it also goes the same when you are in a downtrend. So yeah, guys, that is the very first way to identify what trend you are in the market, you know. So what you guys will be basically looking for when entering in the market, and usually one thing that I tend to do is find my entries on the 30-minute time frame, and then I'll go down to the 15-minute time frame and then use the lower time frames to actually enter on the market. So for you guys to start getting your entries on the market, you know, depending on whatever market you are trading, whether you are trading German 40 or gold like I am, you know, you guys can backtest this on any pair that you are trading. The market does respect structure. So in this instance, what I tend to look for is a simple breakout, you know, of a high. And then I do look for a retest, you know. But guys, it's not just any sort of retest. I don't wait for the market just to retest, you know. There are other confirmations which I will break down on the actual chart so that you guys can see what I do look for, you know. So within my entry model, I also do look for things such as fair value gaps, you know. So, and yeah, man, for those who are still confused and don't know what a fair value gap is, you know, comment down below, and, you know, in the future, I will make a video explaining in detail what a fair value gap is, right? So usually I wait for the market to break structure, you know, and I usually wait for some sort of pullback and candlestick confirmations and pattern confirmations so that I can get an entry, you know. So for example, you guys can see that the market was failing to break this high right over here, and after we got a breakout of this high, the market pulled back, and it is a good opportunity to find buys. All right, traders, so that is the explanation on how to get this sort of entry. But before I actually show you a practical example with a trade that I just took basically an hour before shooting this video, I want to go onto my phone and show you guys the screen recording, right? So you guys saw that at some point we were floating $150, but the market basically hit our stop loss that was in profit, right? So we currently closed about $93 in profit, and we almost doubled the account, you know. And yeah, guys, this is a $100 account. It is a small account, but you know, I'm really happy with the entry, and I'm happy how far I've scaled this particular account, and it's only the very first trade, you know. So I will decide whether I do withdraw or whether I do continue trading this particular account. So you guys can see $93, and I am trading with PrimeXBT, right? So this is the broker that I have chosen for this particular trade. But before we actually go on to the explanation on the market of how I was able to take this trade, I'd like to give a big shout out and thank you to PrimeXBT for sponsoring today's video. So you're probably asking yourself, what is PrimeXBT? So PrimeXBT is basically a crypto futures trading platform and a CFD trading platform. So whether you're trading Bitcoin or whether you're trading gold or any currency pair, you can trade it all on one platform without having to interchange between different platforms. When you register with PrimeXBT, you automatically get placed into VIP +2 status. What that means, it means that you get better fees and better pricing on your account without even having to deposit. So another thing that I do like about PrimeXBT is that they have been fully operational and licensed since 2018.
So they also have a South African license with the FSCA, which you guys can check on their website.
And another thing that they do have is 24-hour support for all their customers. So if you guys do want to get access to some of these benefits, make sure that you use my link in the description and register. So what do these benefits entail? If you are a crypto futures trader or you trade Bitcoin or Ethereum, it means that you get up to 70% less fees on your trades and on your account. And if you are a CFD trader like myself, whether you're trading gold, currencies, or indices, you get 30% less on your spread. So if you guys did see the trade that I did take, I was able to get a better entry on the market because of this benefit. So I am going to sign into my PrimeXBT account so that you guys are familiar with the dashboard and the website. So if you guys do see over here, I have logged onto my dashboard. I will just refresh it for you. And yeah, man, you guys can see I have a MT5 account. Let it just refresh right over here. So you guys can see I do have an account over here, which I obviously did fund with $100. And yeah, man, currently we do have close to 3.5 in the account, which is $193. And if you guys do click right over here to the demo section, if you guys are still new to trading, you can start off with a demo trading. A quick disclaimer, guys, trading CFDs or crypto is really risky, so make sure that you are starting off with a demo account if you do not have the experience, you know. So yeah, man, if you guys do want to start off with a crypto account, you simply click crypto futures. And yeah, man, if you guys do trade CFDs like myself, you guys can either start a PX Trader account or a MetaTrader 5 account, guys. So you guys can see it is an all-in-one platform for crypto traders and for CFD traders. But other than that, let's continue with today's lesson and let me break down to you how I was able to get this super clean entry, you know. So yeah, man, let's hop onto the market. All right, traders, so I am on the market right now and we are looking at gold right now. And I'm going to be showing you how to get entries based on a continuation entry model, right? So if you guys do look at my chart right over here, I am on the 1 hour time frame. And if you do look over here, I actually did catch a reversal trade this previous Friday during NFP, and it was a successful one. So let's go to the 4 hour time frame. One thing that I did mention is that you need to identify the trend, right? That is very important to do, right? So if you do look right over here, gold has been in an overall uptrend on a larger scale, right? But if we do look at current price and how the market is currently moving, you will see that we were in a downtrend, right? If you guys do see these levels that I have marked out over here, this is just me marking out the highs and the lows, you know. But yeah, man, let's go to today's current trade. As you guys can see, first of all, you guys will see that right over here we were in a downtrend and then the market basically broke structure, right? So over here at the bottom, what ended up happening is that the market basically changed character, you know. So after this market broke these two levels during NFP, it was a clear indication that we have changed direction and we are going to continue with an uptrend in the market. So explaining today's trade is going to be quite simple. I started off on the 1 hour chart and I could see that we are in a clear uptrend, right? So when I opened the charts before New York session, what ended up happening is that the market had created this higher high right over here, you know. So I'm just going to take this ray and just draw this higher high, and then the market printed a higher low, you know. So the market was basically respecting this uptrend. So what ended up happening on this market, you know, is pretty simple, and I'm sure you guys can see. You guys can see that we had a breakout. Let me just delete this. You guys can see that we had a clear breakout of this high and we basically had a close. Guys, it's really important to look out for closes, you know. So if you do go to a lower time frame like the 30-minute time frame, you guys can easily also use this particular high over here, and you guys can see we had a clear breakout of this particular level, you know. So another thing that you guys can look at is just this level where the market just keeps retesting, and it is a area of high confluence in the market, you know. So you guys can see we have the very first touch right over here, you know. So now I'm just showing you guys extra things that you guys can use as confirmation, you know, in terms of the levels where you guys can actually base your entries off, you know. off, you know. So yeah, it's really important to also keep a note of zones in the market where the market really rejects. So after I saw this clear close right over here, you know, all I had to do is now wait for a retest, you know. So another thing that I do look for in the market, you know, to get precise entries, you know, I usually wait for the market to get towards a fair value gap, right? So I have this tool right over here, which is the Gann box, and on the 15-minute time frame, I do have this fair value gap marked out. And if you guys do look closely, man, this particular market respected 50% of this fair value gap. You know, so if I do dive down to the 5-minute time frame, I just saw the market create a double bottom on the 1-minute time frame, actually, you know. And if you guys do see right over here, by this level, the market basically created a double bottom, and this is where I based the entries, you know, for the buys on gold. So if you guys do look at, let me just delete this so that it is clear, you know. So a piece of advice I would give, you know, is that you need to have a clear understanding of where the market is going, right, on a bigger time frame, and then use the smaller time frames to kind of guide you so that you can get those clean entries, you know. Someone can easily say that this is a sniper entry, you know, but, you know, someone else can just say that you trading based off a breakout and a retest, you know. But this is how I get entries, especially when it comes to a continuation pattern, you know. So what ended up happening is that I took the buys, and guys, I did not wait longer than 3 minutes, I think, before the market actually got into profit, and then I had the stop loss literally below this level over here. Let me see the 5-minute chart. Yeah, I just had stop loss just under this level here and under the fair value gap, and obviously I had my trade targeted here by 390, which it did not reach. And then while I was filming this video, I was contemplating, should I leave over here? But I just decided to put a trailing stop loss just under this level. And yeah, guys, this is how you can actually catch trades using the continuation model, right? So there's many ways to catch continuation trades. You know, I know that a lot of people do see a continuation pattern just forming over here, a symmetrical triangle. Guys, there's so many ways to kill a cat. You know, trading is very dynamic. You know, there's not only one way of trading. If you are a beginner trader, I suggest that you also use these sort of patterns to confirm the way you enter the market, and just use this as extra confluence for your trades. But traders, that is the end of today's video, and I hope you guys gained a lot of value from this one. All right, traders, we've come to the end of today's video. I hope you guys found a lot of value, and I hope you guys saw how I take trades based on the continuation entry model, right? So if you guys do find a lot of value, make sure that you share this video with your friend, and also make sure to check out PrimeXBT. It is really a good platform, and make sure that you use my link down below. But other than that, traders, I hope you guys do have a profitable week ahead, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.